In a normal year, CES is a valid excuse to fly to Vegas for a week in January, stay in fun hotels, and wander the halls of the largest collection of new consumer technology. This year, however, started with one of the largest tech conventions on the planet for the first time in its more than 50 years of existence, going all digital. No flights to Vegas, no hotel stays, and no convention floor space. Turns out I've been preparing for a CES like this for years. But, as of yesterday, CES 2021 is officially over, and even though I still have a lot of content that will be making its way onto the channel over this coming week, because I am my own writer, producer, and editor, I figured I would give some of my thoughts on how this CES compared to the in-person version that we are all so used to, but doing it in such a way where it directly contrasts the good with the bad. I'm Connor Mitchell of Dragon Rider Network, and it's time to take a look at the good and the bad of CES 2021. Let's get into it. First, the good, a web-based digital venue. Being CES is the largest tech trade show in the world, hundreds of thousands of people are looking to attend. The website this year in large part was held together with Microsoft and their product called Teams. For those unfamiliar, it's the Microsoft version of Slack. In the days leading up to the show, I was quite convinced that there would be some kind of issue with the website, whether it was just slow or would just straight up crash. But the entire time it handled very well. It also obviously provided the social distancing that everyone needed. The bad? Terrible for doing video interviews. I had a lot of interviews lined up for this week. I was able to interview 4 different company reps, which included founders, CEOs, and product managers. Unfortunately, Microsoft Teams was not able to record these interviews, even if you were part of the press team like I was. I tried just about every workaround to do screen recording with audio, and even though it worked well in tests on other applications, something about the web version of Microsoft Teams just wouldn't play nice, and the interviews only had every other word recorded. It's why this upcoming week, you will see a lot of overviews, but no exclusive interviews. Such is life. The good, digital connections. It shouldn't be surprising that it's easier to find and connect with way more companies through a website than it is by walking miles through a convention hall. You simply go to the directory of companies in the CES website, select the ones that you want to look more into, and then they are added to your program for the show. Those pages also offer direct chat lines between you and different reps of those booths, whether it be a PR manager, vice president of operations, or even a CEO. It allows for a forum where you can have your questions answered just as easily and sometimes as quickly as you could in person. The bad, no in-person demos. Of all the things about the showroom floor I loved about CES 2020, being able to actually see products in action and sometimes even take them out for a test myself was hands down the most rewarding part of the show. But now with everything being online, it's harder to see how and even if things will work as intended. Now understand, I'm not saying everything that doesn't have a decent video package is vaporware, but some can make you more suspicious than others. Cool ones like a company that said a machine of theirs can pull up to 5 gallons of water out of the air each day. And then the questionable ones like, and this is real, an AI-powered dog collar that determines the emotional state of your dog by their barks. Do you know how I know this feels like vaporware? No dog owner on the planet would feel they need this. The good, recording everything. Keynotes, company videos, and sessions are all recorded and available on the website. Even today, company pages will remain on the CES website into February. This allows for more time to view and analyze different company products, engage with those from the companies, and ultimately get more time to see what else was shown at the event. It ultimately turns the CES 2021 website into a wiki on products and companies to keep an eye on for the next 11 months of the year. The bad? Time zones. Even though everything is recorded, live broadcasts and interactions with company reps are always going to be done while 2 people are sitting at opposite screens. On the first day, which was Media Day, broadcasts and keynotes were beginning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, which would have been okay for me if I was still living in Baltimore. Now that I reside in San Francisco, waking up at 4 a.m. is something I try my best to avoid. The only times I would wake up at 4 a.m. were typically when I would have a 7 a.m. flight across the country going west. And I wasn't too crazy about it then either. Finally, the good. This provides a safe and meaningful way for people to still have access to the trade show while also being safe against the coronavirus. Yes, there were a lot of things about this CES I didn't like, and a lot of things about Vegas I missed. But if CES had gone forward with an in-person event and had no digital format, I wouldn't have attended. Yes, I love going around the strip late at night after a full day of convention hall. Seeing the pyramids, the Eiffel Tower, and 200-foot tall water fountains with enough time to grab steak and eggs at Denny's at 1 in the morning is, during a normal timeline, one of the highlights of my year. But when 200,000 people in the country are contracting a virus that ends up killing over 4,000 of them every day, we need to change to best adapt to the times. If CES does have an in-person show next year and I receive my vaccination, I will more likely than not be attending. I would also hope that they keep an online portion for those who may not feel comfortable with attending an in-person event or just want to be able to cover CES from wherever they are stationed in the world. Whatever happens, I'm looking forward to seeing how CES shapes up for next year, if they make any improvements on the digital venue, and of course, the possibility of getting Denny's on the Strip at 1 a.m. after passing by several world icons. Here's to CES 2022, and I hope to see you there.